back, folks. Sanity check here. Ken, Skillet, Pete.
Hello. Sorry about that rudeness shit. People calling me during the fucking show.
Once again, as we mentioned last week, we are coming down to the end of our run here. That's the World Vision. At the end of the month. That will be it. We have, 2 more shows after this. And that will be a wrap. But we will be moving to cable television, BPN Brooklyn Public Network. And we will also probably be simulcasting our show either via Google Hangout or YouTube. So the rest of the world can still check out this wonderful show. But
that'd probably be hysterical thinking about it, because it'll be live for them, but it won't necessarily be live in the way in which we construct the show. So they'll probably see a whole lot more fucking mess ups and hear a lot more language than they're probably accustomed to.
Yeah, well,
it should be funny. I think it should be funny.
It looks like we will be having our co-host, our third, coming through when we start that up.
You know what? I think co-host, because I got into an interaction with an individual.
How vague is that? An interaction with an individual.
Someone was trying to flame the show. Because they took what we were saying out of context. Obviously my name is not Skillet Sauce, but on the show I'm Skillet Sauce, and I got a cup with titties on it. But obviously I'm more than just a person that has a cup with titties on it. But we,
You're a rapist with the person?
No, motherfucker. Oh. We were looking for a foil because we despise pop culture. So we figured, but pop culture is what sells. So we figured, well, how can we integrate pop culture by, which will be a sellout for us, and let everyone know that we're selling out, but do it in such a way to where we can actually use that selling for our own benefit. And that was the part about the sort of cheesecake host that we're gonna bounce a lot of our jibes and quips off of, because of course we're not gonna like what she's saying, but she has to say it anyway. And it was totally taken out of fucking context, and I just had an issue with that. But she's not a co-host. I think it's more of a segment. We're
a segment girl.
A segment person, because to say a co-host, it makes it sound like that person is going to be around for all of the segments, and I think that's, I believe it's not true, right?
No, well, at this point, we have to figure out, because we are the format of the show will be changing.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a half-hour show, so we have to figure it out. I mean, personally, I would like it if the chick was good enough or vibed with us in a way that we need and we liked. And for throughout the whole half-hour show,
that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, but we'll have to see if that works out.
But as for now, it's
what else is she gonna be doing? Like just entertainment segment, or?
Well, as of right now, that's what we had planned for this show, for this version of the show. But again, we do a 1-hour show, so it was like, okay, we have one 12 to 15-minute segment. We're gonna have her on there, blah 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 blah. But again, in a new format, it was going to be a half-hour show.
But still, no, even though it's a half-hour show, we're going to be filming an hour's worth of material plus a 2-hour setup time. So, I mean, we might actually, who knows? Because
we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
But as of now, yes, you'll be the entertainment person. But who knows? It might expand beyond that.
Right. Again, if we work well with her and she works well with us, it could be a cool setup.
And can deal with our
she can deal.
Humor in our mouths.
That's the whole thing.
And just make sure if she books guests, you give her the criteria.
No, no problem.
Yeah, because Ken likes all his guests nice and tight.
That's right, I forgot.
Yes, that's right.
I think that dude went into rehab. What was his name, man? King Mustapha or whatever. What was that cat's name?
King Ramses.
King Ramses. That dude went into rehab after coming on this show.
I didn't know he had a drug problem. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that'll be cool. I mean, but yeah,
but again, we'll be updating everybody on our Facebook page, on our Google Plus page, on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram, on our Twitter. All that crap. So whichever one you prefer, keep monitoring, and all the information will be on there. When, where, how, to see us on the new show, Insanity Check.
Yep. Oh, that's true. Well, we'll have to change the name.
No, just going to do Insanity Check.
But I thought there was a lot of Insanity Checks out there, so we'd have to fight with these people and shit. Man.
Well, again, also be on the lookout for our website, insanitycheckradio.com.
Oh, okay.
So-
you got the name?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, good, thank God. Well, a good shout out to Boxer Dave for he alerted us to that. So,
Anyway,
no funny jokes about Boxer Dave.
Nah, I've never seen his boxes. Obviously, you have.
Badoo bop. That's right, Boxer. Yeah, draws, right? Jimmy draws. Whatever.
so we're slipping into another interesting story here. And you know what's funny about this is
There's
that
something funny about this shit?
well, it's kind of weird. There was a story similar to this on Facebook. Apparently, some woman in Canada got their shit beat out of her by the pigs. And I was reading that article.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What's this black, the Afro lady, the lady up there?
This guy was debunked.
Up, motherfucker. Huh? Who's that?
I don't fucking know.
She's following up. I'm sorry. Since I never see our Facebook page, I'm just
And this isn't our Facebook page.
Oh, it's not. Oh, excuse me then. All right. So as you were saying,
Christ Almighty. So this is similar to this story that Skillet found, which is called Bombshell Autopsy Report Reveals Murder, Lies, and Alleged Cover-Up. So basically, the initial story that he sent me was about a gentleman who's, what was his name here?
let's see. Something Wright.
Alfred Wright.
Alfred Wright.
Alfred Wright went missing in Texas, Jasper, Texas. Ching. Family enlisted the Texas Rangers and local sheriff's department to try to find him. They couldn't find him. They assumed that this dude was on drugs and vanished, and he was gone. The family didn't believe that, or they couldn't believe that, and they enlisted the help of a Black Panther Party member and got a whole search party together for themselves, and they happened to find Alfred Wright
in a field
150 yards from where he was last seen.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay.
And it took weeks. It was weeks.
Yeah, it took weeks.
So he was,
So they're like, okay. So then the sheriff and, glad you found him. We'll take it from here. We'll do an autopsy. Autopsied him. Oh yeah, he was. It was cause of death was drugs.
Combined drug intoxication is
Right.
what was the cause of death, which had nothing to do. It said with levels of cocaine and its byproducts within legal range,
Right.
Within lethal range, along with methamphetamine and amphetamine, consistent with the preliminary report released in December. It said. Excuse me. Here's the part that's funny. Says there are no signs of trauma on Wright's body. Key on that point. No signs of of trauma on Wright's body.
So once again, the family was like, that doesn't sound like the person that we knew. He wasn't on drugs, etc., etc. So again, they had an individual, separate autopsy type performed.
And didn't he place a coherent phone call to his wife because his car had broken down or something? On the
Right, his car broke down.
So he didn't sound like he was like jonesing for a crazy fix or something. He was like, hey, honey, this is the situation. I've broken down, whatever. He reached out to his wife.
So what did the individual autopsy find? Just that he had 2 teeth knocked out. His tongue was cut off. His ear was ripped off.
And his throat.
Throat slashed?
Yeah.
Throat slashed. Yeah.
So-
Kind of consistent with,
Foul play. But,
So,
they want people to believe that in a drug-induced haze, rage, whatever you want, he did all of this stuff to himself. And then, obviously, he left the road. He went out into the middle of the field because, you got to have specific territories and places to go, to a self-immolating fucking slashing, eviscerating fucking rage. So he did all of this shit to himself in the field because I guess he felt more comfortable.
yeah. In a field, by the way, where the sheriff said they couldn't search because they didn't get permission of the property owner to search it. Well, when they did the individual search, they spoke to that property owner, and the property owner was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sheriff's never talked to me. You can go search whatever you want. Lo and behold, there was the body. So, so the question is, what's going on here? What's going on in Jasper, Texas? racist Jasper, Texas. This is the region of the country where that cat Bird was dragged to his death.
Oh yeah, that dude. He was dragged into pieces where they literally dragged this guy till the road basically crumbled and ripped this dude down to nubs. They stopped at a gas station to I guess restock up on jerky treats and whatever else they had before they finished dragging this dude down to nothing. So when they finished with this guy, he was all over the road, and just like, I think it was just like a chain holding two wrists and shit, and everything else had been, scraped off from the ground. So
yeah,
that place.
So now, of course, the family is up in arms. They want, who was the guy? Sheriff Maddox. Sheriff Maddox and the Texas Rangers they're trying to get the FBI involved and bring these people up on charges for God knows, just a myriad of things: obstruction of justice, perjury, who knows, could even murder. If they had a hand in killing this dude, because why would they not try to do their job?
Yeah.
And then lie upon lie upon lie.
And the thing is, stupid lies in this day and age, where you, like you said, you can interview the property owner. Why would you make up a lie that any person with a recording device could walk up to, sir, did the police ever come ask you? No. I mean, why would they tell these simpleton lies? Did they think that this shit was not going to somehow come out?
Well, when you don't have respect for the people that you're dealing with, you just do stupid shit that you could easily get busted for.
That's right. They probably thought this family was a bunch of mudfoot fucking Cro-Magnums and shit that was, some sloths that weren't going to investigate one of their loved ones, death and shit, especially after you told them something that was contradictory to this person's nature. They were just, so, I guess, primal and savage. They would just go and start smearing bananas on their foreheads, and they would just fucking go off into the distance, I assume.
But, I'm sure there's, loads of white folks out there who are like, well, there must be a good reason why they did that. Because that's what white folks always say.
Now, you said you had some experience with people. I've never met anybody like that, thankfully. Thankfully, I've never met anybody like that when something was this blatantly obvious that would try and play that kind of devil's advocate shit.
But, again, depends on what world you're living in. In a lot of white folks' worlds, the police are their friend. The cops are there to help you. They don't plant evidence. They don't kill people and assassinate folks and shoot them in the back. This doesn't happen. So there must be a good reason why these things are taking place. There must be good reasons because, again, how many times have we seen police run to court on charges of killing black folks and they get off?
That's right, because didn't you say one of your former colleagues, when that guy, when they made that rather excellent film about the individual that was shot in the train station, and if you've ever seen this footage, I mean, the guy was basically hog-tied, stomach to the ground. The cop shot the guy dead in the back with another cop putting knee pressure on him. So there's no way, unless this guy was going to flip like a fucking dolphin and somehow injure these people, there was no way this person was any kind of threat. Cop shot him and killed him. And didn't you say one of your colleagues was like, well, it's got to be a rational explanation for that?
Yeah, well, his first thing was like, dude, come on, you're not going to do the race thing again, are you? To which I responded, okay, you explain to me what you just saw. Why did that happen? I don't know, but there must be a good reason.
How come that doesn't happen to white teens? How come they don't buck white teens while they're tied up and...
I don't know, but there must be a good reason. We could just say that all day. And they have been saying that all day. And again, it's been working. But
they can't provide the reason, though.
Yeah.
Well, listen. This is another one of those. I wonder what's going to happen to this case, if this case is going to have legs and have traction.
Well, it's just like
because I barely heard about this.
This is a story that I heard. Some cop chased a kid, black kid, again, into his grandmother's house because I think he had weed on him, or he was suspected of having weed on him, and of course, all of a sudden, oh my God, the kid has a gun. Blows his kid away, right in the house, and he got off because the jury deduced that he had reason to suspect that this kid had a gun, even though, of course, he didn't have a gun. But again, what's so funny about this is, like I said, I don't watch reality TV. I like to watch people get fucked up. At certain times, there's a mix that's world's dumbest. Cop chases world's dumbest criminals, etc., etc., etc. So they showed these cops on the dash cam chasing a woman down. She was. They were telling her to stop. She wouldn't stop. Now, she was actually signaling when she made turns. She was stopping at stoplights, but she refused to stop when they told her to stop. She drove into, I think, what was her driveway. She jumped out of the car like this, pointed something black at the police. Like this. Amazingly enough, these cops had the restraint to not shoot her 55 fucking times.
Oh, really? And what did she have? Was it
She
her?
had a phone. But a phone pointed like this at the police after she sprung out of her car after
She
a
just
fucking
chased.
10 to 15 minute chase. But somehow
They was able to
these
use.
cops were able to deduce in a mere split second, because that's all they had. If this woman had a gun, one of those pigs would have been shot. But she didn't, and somehow they were able to see that. Somehow, not only did they not shoot 55 times or 42 times or 38
46 times or whatever time, yeah.
they didn't shoot one time. And they managed to subdue her without beating the Christ out of her with their billy clubs,
Without tasing her heart flat.
without tasing her, anything like that. Amazingly.
So, what are you trying to say there, Ken? That they somehow can show common sense and sound decision making when they're dealing with a woman?
Oh, yeah. Look, not just a woman.
Oh.
I've seen shows where they, like, 4 to 5 cops are wrestling. I mean, wrestling a wild, naked white man down to the ground. He ain't trying to go down. It took 4 of them to wrestle him down. Why did it take 4? Because they chose not to beat him with their batons or just shoot him in the fucking face.
So they elected to go all UFC with this guy,
Amazingly enough.
but like some 17-year-old black kid that weighs about 130 pounds, including his Timbs, he just gets straight bullets.
Yeah. So
He's so threatening. Yeah.
So when you know a black man is on the ground, face down, stomach down, handcuffed with his hand tied behind his back,
With an officer with his knee in that black man's back.
and another officer behind as cover, he makes a move, and oh my God, I have to jump up and shoot him because my life is in danger.
Yeah.
Fatality.
Exactly.
But when fucking white people are pointing shit in the stance of a fucking, as if you're holding a gun. Wait a minute. That's not a weapon. We're safe.
Yeah. Standard procedure. Standard procedure. To take her down with standard procedure.
But there's no racism in this country.
Well, you know, we all. I mean,
Racism whatsoever.
we know he's making
It's
jokes
all
because
over. We have a black president,
Oh,
which is to work hard
Yeah, yeah.
and do the right things.
Right.
Remember,
Sure.
if you have nothing to hide,
Sure.
nothing, not do anything wrong,
Sure.
it's okay.
sure,
Stop and frisk is okay.
sure. And if you believe that, I got some property in Dumbo for mad cheap.
We'll be back in 2 minutes, motherfuckers.
We're trying to make it